Log recording. Well, it's a diary of the griever named John Weaver. That'd be me out in Roseman, California at 7:22 p.m. It is still February 24th, 2023. No, I'm not snowed in, but I can tell you that the weather has been playing field day on my psych. Not to mention other things that I needed to try to get myself past, and I just can't seem to get myself past it. What used to be a normal thing to deal with and not an emotional impact has become an emotional impact and a very hard thing to deal with, when you're doing games. A while ago, not today, but a few weeks ago, a couple of friends wanted me to get involved with Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe at one time I could try getting into the Dungeons and Dragons if I wasn't feeling the effects that I'm feeling, but unfortunately, that's not the case today. Not the case these days, anyway. Because what I'm going through right now is still the grieving process in the morning and the flashbacks, and the depression that adds to it. The depression we're talking about is, how do you deal with a normal everyday item that now becomes almost like a hated enemy? What would be considered a fun thing to deal with now becomes a ball and chain, or worse than that. I mean, I'd call it enslavement right there, but it no longer has the appeal. It now feels like it's the anathema of anything and everything that matters. I'm trying to find the right words to put it into how I'm feeling about this, and it's coming up conflicted. Give me a second here. My pot's just about to boil. Okay, sorry about that. Maybe a little too sweet. I was trying to knock off the lemon at this point. But nothing wrong with a cup of tea. Every once in a while, steady your nerves. It's still a hot caffeinated drink, much like coffee would be, but I like it better. What gets to me when I'm dealing with my emotional issues is my response to them. Sometimes I think, is it the right way or not? You know, what used to be an enjoyable activity to almost a monotonous idea, or a monotonous action, and trying to get back into it to do something, and it feels like it's no longer you. I mean, I associate with keeping the games because I like to play the games, and I was a gamer. I still am. Still am a gamer. And I can't get rid of that because I played games when I was a kid. Yeah, video games. It was it. All the time. And there was nothing wrong with playing video games because you're a kid. That was the time I was growing up in 1980s. I was a teenager, and I played video games to while away time and not deal with shit at home, and be addicted to this damn stuff. When it came out, I was a lot younger than a teenager. It'd been a fun activity with the family to keep an eye on me while I was having fun. While I was having a fun activity. But there'd be a limit, a time limit of how much money I can actually spend in the damn games. Especially when I was dealing with, let's see, handheld games are one thing. Get to handle the old games and constantly playing them, trying to get them going, and get different games to play with. Big Univision monstrosity to the small handheld of the Mattel Electronics. The LED lights. A thumb would be the most. Both thumbs would be maneuvering like crazy. Fast thumbs, fast reactions. Playing basketball all the time. Never liked hockey. Tried football, couldn't get into football. But but basketball, yeah, that was my game. Donkey Kong was okay. I lost that game at a school. It got taken from me and never given back. Wasn't even mine anyway. Borrowed it from one of my friends. That was a good game to play. Just had to keep playing until you got it mastered. Next level, always the next level, and always making the damn noises. People crazy. Couldn't play them in the library. You had to play them outside, which got people's attention, especially the adults when you were a kid. It was either that or I got older. I played Game Boy when I actually was able to work and afford to buy one. And then nobody else could argue with me because it was my Game Boy. I'd get games for birthday or Christmas, and I'd play a few. Or I'd buy them myself. Whenever I had the mood really get into it, because I didn't have a computer at the time to play the video games properly. Couldn't go to the arcades, just bring your own damn game. But I was a gamer. I was also addicted to the damn thing too. You get the laptops, you get, or actually, you get the desktop, they called them. Yeah. Ma would have one. I'd load up a game or two. Didn't realize one particular game came with a damn virus in it. We had another game. Loaded on small cartridges. They're called floppies. Graduated from the larger floppies, which were floppy, into the hard smaller ones. A little bit more storage, but they also called them floppy. I don't know why. I played games on that one too. Graduated from that to the CD drives. Played video games on those desktop as well. Ma had two or three. One was supposed to be a workstation for a friend of ours. When she would come by and Ma would need help. Other than that, it would be my workstation. Usually for my work, for one way or another, or doing stuff. Not playing games, just get me entertained. Away from the damn television, I'd be on the damn computer. Yeah. So I'd play the games. Or at the damn keyboards. Get a control stick use, or a mouse. But I'd be so addicted to them, I'd be getting collections. I'd go to bookstores and see if they got any demo discs. Usually they have one or two waves on each game, and that would be something to play. Go online and find another one and download it to your computer. Try doing that at work. Got me fired. Managed to get the game, managed to get what I needed, and played the game at home too many damn times. Found cheat codes online, play it more. So it got me all the way to the end. And after that, then what? I was a cheater. I never played with anybody. If I was going to cheat, I would be cheating the computer and cheating myself, but I wouldn't be playing against another person because I had to play fair. Play by the rules. Piss people off. Yeah, well, I wasn't exactly a people person during those days either. Played the games all by myself. Solitaire. These days, I play the game Solitaire all the damn time. If I was in the mood, I'd still be playing Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 1, original Electronic Arts, the EA games. Or even Star Trek Armada or Elite Force, if the computers are still actually working and taking the codes. Modifying them a bit, I'd be able to go through them, at least most of the game. There was one game I couldn't get through. I'd read about it in a guidebook all the way through what I was supposed to be doing, but it didn't work out that way. So, said hell with it. Bugs. Still dealing with a bug war. So what gets to me is something of a pastime or something that I've been doing for a hell of a long while no longer, at least for today, didn't feel like my concentration was so damn off, my feelings were so damn off, that I couldn't play the games anymore. Solitaire became more of a challenge at this point over here, and Battlefront 2, I played like crazy because I was numb to death. Let me rephrase that again. I was numb, and I wasn't dealing with anything regarding death. I wasn't reacting to it. If a character died, he died. If a ship blew up, it blew up. It's all zeros and ones, right? So, they're just fictional. That's all they were. However, it gets harder and harder to play a game when you're looking at through a crosshairs, at a target to eliminate them. It gets harder and harder to order ships. Zeros and ones that they are. But they blow up, and there's how many people on board the ship when you create that particular icon? How many characters were in it, and how many characters died in it when it blew up? But you sent the shit out to go do a job, either to scout, to help, to defend, and you lose a lot of ships. Even if I happen to cheat, change the coding around just so they don't die off as much, but they still do somehow. The coding still gets screwed up, and then they're still dying left and right. I can't prevent that. I can't prevent them to die. The Battlefront 2 EA game, Star Wars, had the cheat codes online. I could turn myself into a god with unlimited ammunition, and I would just walk through all this stuff. Now, either I win that round, or I'd lose it. But nothing would happen to me. To me. If it's instant action, that's it. That's the thing. I'm protected under it. It shouldn't feel anything. I shouldn't feel anything about the damn thing. If the computer was still actually able to get these games going out of my Star Trek Elite Force on there, 1 and 2, if the coding were still working on these damn things, I would be able to play it. But I still would be the one pulling a trigger. I am, in fact, creating death. Not like playing a damn video game, or actually a pinball game, I meant to say. You're doing it. You're banging a ball around left to right, get to the flippers, and get to everything obstacle in there so you can get more points. That's not it. But you only have 3 balls. Equate that for lives. Unless you've already made enough points to guarantee you another ball, another ball, another ball, another ball, so you have another life, 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 life. And you fight like crazy just to keep playing that game. It's not how much you're putting into it. The more you keep playing the game, the more lives you're getting, making yourself somewhat a demigod. Unless you have it unlimited, and then you're immortal, and you can keep playing the game without sticking another quarter into it. So how is it dealing with role-playing games? How is this affecting me if I go do a role-playing game? You have a storyteller who's running the whole damn thing. He's got to know what kind of characters you have created, the stats, the powers, the abilities, the weaknesses, the history, anything and everything regarding the damn character. So they can create a scenario, basically, where you're going to be going through the game with other characters to play it. And you're basically going in there to die, like regular life. I had been playing games for a long while. I've been a gamer ever since I was a young kid. When they came out with Pong, I played that. When they had Commodore 64, I played a few games on that one. I had been at arcades and played a lot of games. Mostly, you're killing the bad guy, one way or another. They say you're killing the opponent. No. In your head, you're killing the bad guy. Do the same thing with the home games all the time. Online games. Handheld games. You against, you against, you against. Either the computer or somebody else, or just you against you. There should be a different feeling. Should be a different mindset. Should be a different way of looking at this damn thing. But I'm having a problem with it because the games I'm dealing with, I know, are avatars, are zeros and ones, and they're not alive. Big deal. You fire your weapon, and they evaporate. How does that make you feel? How does that make me feel? Like a damn murderer, that's how it feels like. Why should I be thinking about it this way? Why should I be feeling this way? Why am I like this right now? That shouldn't affect me as much. Puzzle games are one thing. Going through a maze, but you're still fighting monsters in that damn thing. You go through different levels of different games, and you're still trying to battle a bad guy, one way or another. And battling against a guy, so you're just fighting against yourself. No, you're fighting against an idea. You're fighting against an ideal. You're fighting against. You're not building, you're not creating, you're not doing anything. You're mass destruction. It seems like I got something inside of me snapped, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I guess maybe there's an overload in there somewhere. I can keep playing card games, and I'm going against the computer. I'm betting against things, but solitaire is just you got stacks of cards laying out in a different pattern, and yeah, you gotta build up at least the four suites: the clubs, the spades, the diamonds, the hearts, and you gotta match them up from the ace, and then two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. All the way to the royal suite, and then after that, game's over. And if you can do it, fine. But if you can't do it, and you're trapped in there somewhere, try to go through it again one more time. Reshuffle a card. Reshuffle the whole thing. Start again. That I can deal with. I'm not killing anything. I'm just turning over cards. I'm turning over numbers. I'm not using a weapon and going against something or someone. I couldn't deal with the group, because I can't deal with groups all the time anyway these days. And growing up as a kid, I was just a solitary guy. I always wanted to be part of the gang, but never part of the gang, you know? I always wanted to be like I'm part of something, and I could feel it, and then somehow or another it gets taken away, and then I'm backstabbed somehow. And I'm no longer part of something or someone. I'm no longer part of a group that I can deal with, cope with, and be. And was it the same way like for my mother and my brother? Were they going to backstab me too? The quick, honest answer is no. Family didn't do that to each other. But we did have other family members that would play against each other or play games. And didn't care about one like about someone else or another. I had a couple of cousins coming over to the house a long time ago. Mooching off of Ma, stealing from Ma, throw their ass out. Of course, we did keep their stuff for years on end afterwards, but then got rid of it. Well, Ma wasn't getting compensated, so she said, fuck it. Personal items gone forever. Worked for companies. Tried to feel like I was part of something. Something happens, and then I'm no longer part of the company. Just a dime a dozen. Sometimes I feel like I'm out with people I know. Just a dime a dozen. I hear the excuses. I want to be part of something bigger, larger, but I'm always afraid. I know I'm going to get backstabbed one way or another. Doesn't matter. I hate being closed-minded and closed-hearted because I can't feel, I can't function, I can't be part of. That's how I'm feeling. I got a dog dependent upon me. She's not trying to judge me left and right, and I don't like to judge her all that often. It's the only true thing I've got with me. How's this turned into from video gaming into this situation? As I said before in some of my other videos, everything else is interconnected in my head. Different triggers, different ways of getting triggered left and right. There's different feelings, different formats, different things. And they will play havoc on my psyche to a point where I'm not dealing with it, I'm not having it, and I'm not going to work with it. And you don't like it, I don't give a shit. Leave me the fuck alone. At least that way I'll be able to deal with my own damn shit and feel miserable if I want to. The problem is, I haven't learned in all my life how to really fully trust without developing a shield necessary to protect me from being backstabbed too many damn times. And it happens. And I'm getting tired of it. So the only thing I can do for myself is try to find a way to protect myself. That's why I don't go into groups anymore. I'll feel lonely and shit that no one else tries to pay attention to me, and I'll try to pull up a Hollywood front for attraction or something like that. But I got my self-defense mechanism pulling up left and right and saying, no, deal with them, keep a healthy distance, and then just deal with my own shit. And it just doesn't work that way for me anymore, I guess. Sucks. They hate games you play inside your head, I'll tell you. It drives me crazy when I do that to myself. And back to the video games. A particular pleasure of trying to accomplish a goal or a task is one thing, but the goal and a task on the games I got is how to eliminate the enemy. Which today was making me feel sick to my stomach. I'm eliminating myself. How does that make me feel? I'm my own worst enemy. I could try a driving game if I could drive. I used to do those a lot as a teen. Pole position. Sucked, but drive the damn games. You're in competition with the other guy. But if you're going to be eliminating him from the damn course, there are driving games that actually do that. There was a game called Spy Hunter. Yeah, I played those games like crazy. Drove me nuts. Spy Hunter was a pretty decent game. It was. I mean, these days, I don't know. I don't think I could deal with the confrontation anymore. Maybe it's more confrontations that I'm afraid of dealing with. I'm confronting something. I'm confronting an essence of myself or something of me that I don't like to do or don't like to be with. And I'm having an issue with that one. I tried to be a people pleaser when I was a young kid, but I was an independent thinker, though. Did things on my own. Kept my head in the books and video games, something isolating me left and right. I guess maybe I was avoiding. Do I blame it on the heart surgery or do I blame it on something earlier than that? I don't know. It was hard to find friends. It was hard to keep friends. It's also harder to keep family. I hate loss. I put myself as a god in some of these games when I cheat because I don't. It's not losing the damn game. It's losing me. I hate dying. I guess maybe it's becoming more and more apparent that I get the fear coming out. I have to talk about these things. Have to put it out there. Have to show something. Dealing with the weather that we got right now, crazy as it is out here in California, it's getting crazier out there in the country. And people say it's the heaviest storm we got. It's this, it's that. Like, come on, guys. It's just another fucking storm we get over here that hopefully will alleviate our drought. Look at it that way. But if not, we're really fucked up now, right? I'm not going to laugh about it. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to be able to deal with it. That's the thing. And I have to deal with it. Because I don't know what else to deal with it with. But I'm trying to deal with other things that also matters to me more. Doesn't seem like it, but it's becoming almost like that, isn't it? These days. And trying to keep focus on that one. So what's important to me these days? I don't know. Tell you the truth, I don't know. I'm having a hard time even trying to do these kind of videos because I'm having a hard time trying to deal. I don't like dealing with people dying. I don't like people getting stabbed and screwed over left and right. I'm dealing with shit. I'm dealing with people with losing loved ones and families trying to get together and hugging themselves out like crazy, either in fiction or in reality. And it's affecting me a great deal. There's a whole lot out there trying to affect me right now. The weather out there is also not making it easier for me to feel anything good about myself. It's making me feel like I'm crap right now. I'm going to be watching a show coming up. SWAT. Sometimes there is death. Other times there's not, but there's also separation. And death is also a separation of sorts. Changes. I want everything else to stay the same, but it never does. All deteriorates, falls apart. So I wonder, I can't deal with this anymore. It feels like it. I just can't deal with all this damn changes and shit going on. It's driving me nuts. How am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to think about it? I don't know. Tell you the truth, honest to God, I don't know.